Hey guys, just a quick disclaimer to say that this was made before Flight to the Finish aired, so if anybody's wondering why that episode isn't mentioned here, that's why. Okay, enjoy the video guys. It's no secret that I do not care for this character. I've often questioned why the writers even bothered having her on the show, but for a long time I couldn't really put my finger on what the real problem with this character was. Of course, I understood the rather obvious defense people kept giving me. We're not supposed to like her. But I've still always hated that argument. Are you seriously telling me that she could be the most insufferable, obnoxious, irritating, and downright unpleasant character to watch ever? And none of that would matter just because we're not supposed to like her? Well, even if I'm willing to accept that, I think there is more to my dislike of her than just that. I started thinking about the other jerkish, bully-type characters in other works of fiction, and I noticed a trend with the ones that I actually think work. Biff, Helga, Angelica, and Malfoy, for examples. There is nothing about what they do that make me, as a viewer, dislike them. I enjoy watching them. I always liked that they created a conflict or issue in the story, and I loved that they made me root for the hero all the more. I just don't approve of what they are doing, and therefore it makes complete sense that the hero would hate them. They're not doing anything to me. It's not like they can even get to me through the fourth wall. So actually, guys, I think you're wrong. We are supposed to like them. We are supposed to like them as characters. What they add to the story and the experience of watching them on screen. We're just not supposed to approve of what they are doing. We know that what they are doing isn't right, but we should still be able to understand why they are doing it, why they believe what they are doing is right, and the motivations they have for doing it. So this brings me to the real problem with Diamond Tiara. Do I really understand the motivations for any of her actions? In the case of Call of the Cutie, yes, I can see why she would want to take satisfaction from having a cutie mark when the others do not. Especially since at the time of this episode, she has only just got her cutie mark, and it's not like she purposefully targeted Apple Bloom either. She and Twist just happened to be the ones without cutie marks. I also think that her actions serve an important purpose in sending Apple Bloom down the wrong path of believing that there was actually something wrong with her not having a cutie mark. During that popularity contest that is adolescent life, it is understandable that she would want to tease others for not looking like she did in order to make her feel better in some way. In Family Appreciation Day, I feel like her actions at least serve a purpose in convincing Apple Bloom that there may be something up with Granny Smith. But I really don't understand what she thought she could get out of convincing Apple Bloom Granny Smith was embarrassing. Later on in the episode, she purposefully tries to convince Cheerly to invite Granny Smith to come to the school. Why? Did she want Apple Bloom to be embarrassed in front of the whole class? Or is it because she just knows Apple Bloom won't want her to come and she just wants to make Apple Bloom miserable? I don't really know why that would be, but even if I am willing to accept that as a legitimate motivation, does that mean she herself considers Granny Smith embarrassing? Because if that's the case, does that mean she was trying to do Apple Bloom a favour by telling her that earlier on? Why would she do her a favour but then try to have her appear in front of the whole class? Oh man, Apple Bloom, that granny of yours is so embarrassing. Hey, I know, let's have her appear in front of the whole class. This whole problem could have been avoided if you just remove Diamond Tiara and have Apple Bloom convince herself that Granny Smith is embarrassing, and have Cheerly come up with the idea of bringing in Granny Smith. The episode is good, but there is no reason to have Diamond Tiara in it. With Ponyville Confidential, I don't want to bring in any unfair personal bias I may have against the episode, so I'll just say that Diamond Tiara playing a large role in this episode does make it far less enjoyable for me personally. Though I would still like to point out that Diamond Tiara is far from the only problem I have with the episode. I've already gone into quite a bit of detail in other videos about why I cannot understand the reason for placing Diamond Tiara in the role of the CMC's boss. It doesn't tie in with her character at all, and there's really no reason it couldn't have just been a completely new character. Some people tell me it's because it's a CMC episode, so it has to have Diamond Tiara in the role of antagonist. Well, where does this unwritten rule come from that Diamond Tiara has to be the antagonist in a CMC episode? There's nothing about Diamond Tiara's character that fits with her forcing the CMC to write newspaper stories. It makes no sense to me. I understand the difficult issue of doing something for the good of your job even if you don't think it's right, but that's not really the type of dilemma that needs the boss to be the antagonist. A co-worker should be the antagonist in this situation. Hey, I just realised, Wonderbolt's Academy did this right! But again, having Diamond Tiara in the story adds nothing. So after all this bashing of Diamond Tiara, I want to talk a little bit about her accomplice, Silver Spoon. Now, for anyone that is not aware, the term silver spoon means someone that has been born into a rich family. They have had a lot of wealth and/or authority handed to them. It is generally meant as an insult, meaning that you are the type of person that doesn't understand the values of earning your wealth and working hard to get yourself up into a good position. So my headcanon on Silver Spoon is that she is the type of pony that has always had her hoof held for her. She has been dependent on the ponies around her to guide her through life and open the right doors for her. She has never done anything for herself and has just followed in other ponies' hoof steps. So when she started school, and she saw Diamond Tiara pushing other ponies around, she figured she would be the best option as some pony to latch onto, follow around and just copy whatever she was doing. This has me wondering if Silver Spoon is actually a bad pony, or if she's just like this because of how she's been brought up. Just because she may have spent her whole school life following Diamond Tiara around, copying what she says and doesn't mean she's actually like that herself and isn't capable of speaking her mind and finding her own path in life, if there is enough of a motivation for her to do so. And this brings me on to another idea I've had for a while. But first I need to fill you in on the Simpsons episode, Homer's Enemy. In it, the character Frank Grimes feels that there is a major injustice on how Homer has had everything handed to him and has done nothing in life to earn where he is, while meanwhile, he has worked hard and achieved nothing. It's one of my favourite episodes, but I've always thought it might have been more interesting to tell this story from the perspective of the Frank Grimes character. I've always thought one problem with the episode was that Grimes never properly understood that, in spite of the injustice Homer represented, he wasn't a bad person. He never meant to cheat his way through life, and doesn't feel good about it when Grimes pointed it out. So here is my idea. Apple Bloom has a project for school that she works very hard on for weeks, only to be given a bad grade for it. Meanwhile, Silver Spoon does little to no work, and yet gets a good grade because of all the help she gets. Apple Bloom confronts Silver Spoon about this, and finds out a lot more about the way she's been brought up. Perhaps she's had to live in the shadow of a lot of very successful ancestors, and as a result has been living under a lot of pressure since birth to follow what they did and achieve what they did. She has spent her whole life following what she has been told she should be doing, and perhaps this is why she follows Diamond Tiara around, since she also comes from a successful family. Apple Bloom finds that she isn't really doing anything wrong by just accepting what has been handed to her and going along with it. But Silver Spoon also feels bad for the injustice that she has inadvertently caused. She learns to stop following along with whatever Diamond Tiara is saying, and be her own pony. What do you guys think? Do you want to see more of a focus on Silver Spoon? Do you think the writers gave her that name because they have something planned about her? Do you think I'm completely wrong about Diamond Tiara? Let me know in the comments.